Smile to Death. This is chapter 9. Hello again. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that we have these kind of meetings here, and we're certainly having these meetings when we are alive, right? So if you see me now, it means that you are alive, and I am alive now when I'm recording this lesson. Yet, despite the fact that both of us are alive in our now, we discuss here very deep and unusual things that related to spaces that are not here. I'm saying that they are here, but still, it's a bit funny, it's a bit bizarre that we are here to discuss death, to discuss smiling to death. You know, many good things in life begin with being bizarre. Many good things in life begin with being strange, unusual, even ridiculous. If we want to grow, if we want to develop, if we want to expand, if we want to heal, I think it is our duty from time to time to take a new look on our paradigms, on our current understandings, on our current view over things. It is worthwhile from time to time to take a second or a third look at things that we used to consider bizarre, unusual, strange, ridiculous. Maybe some of these things are over there hidden in a kind of quarantine just because we are afraid of the true content that exists there. So we prefer to close our eyes and just put it there, leave it there, and continue with our denial that served us so well. Well, from time to time, life gives us some, gives us some events or some dramas or some unusual things that force us to take a second look, to take a third look over the way we are used to believe, to think, to determine, to decide. And as far as death is concerned, well, I think we need to do it as many times as we can, because our society overall is afraid of dealing with death. So afraid that actually killing inside it, actually I believe we kill each other and we hurt each other, mainly because we are afraid of death and because we refuse to smile to death. So this is why I believe it is very important to be here, even if it is a bit bizarre. Smile to death while you're still alive. Well, I guess the story of our existence is a bit more complex than what we used to think logically. And only when you smile to death, you can reach this complexity and deal with it properly, because our cognitive mind, our logic, is really limited. But when we add to our strategy some emotional tools, emotional spiritual tools, then we get more clever. We can see things that we couldn't see before. This is why this course is here. So, after this long introduction, let's go to chapter 9. It says, smile to death eventually brings to a new and higher connection with those we lost. This is the third chapter of part 3 that deals with the pain that comes with the losses, and that it is hard to smile to these losses, of course, because they're so painful. But you know that after a while, after we continue, we may be able to realize that some of the losses are actually part of our progress, and some of the losses really made us who we are today. Some of the losses pushed us to change, to heal, to overcome obstacles. Losses are not just things we lose. Losses are, I believe, part of the bigger picture. Sometimes we need to lose something in order to make this next step. Now, chapter 9 says that if you smile to death, if you smile to death as a phenomenon, not just someone's death, not just your death, just death as phenomenon, as space, as I like to address it, you may be able to feel inside from time to time, when the time is right for this and not before, that this very action, smiling to death, enables you to improve your connection with the things and the people you lost. Because when you smile to death, you get closer to the bigger picture, emotionally, spiritually, not logically. If you only look at things, at life, only from logical point of view, well, you see just a limited version of the existence. And when you smile to death, of course, smile to death is just, a symbolic gesture English. But this symbolic gesture is very important, because you say, instead of running away from death, instead of fearing death, instead of staying stuck with this enormous pain, that again I lost, not just I lost some people, I lost in the battle against death. So instead of being there in the losing position, when I smile to death, I get closer to a larger understanding. And the most beautiful understanding that it is related to state of mind of abundance is that we never really lose all those things that we believe we lost. So, in some level, we do lose them, and it's very painful. But when we smile to death, when we start connecting this space with the death space, when we start understanding that these two spaces are just one big space, and if something just passed the wall and went there, well, part of me is over there always. And this thing that passed over there and went there, well, I'm having it there. I can never lose it. This is not an option. A whole set of important understandings come from this place. The fear of losing, the fear of death, the fear of losing your money, your car, your family, your house, your country, your everything comes from a limited view of our existence. And it's okay to have these fears. But if you're limited only to these fears, then you miss the bigger picture. And when you miss the bigger picture, well, you suffer more. And you're able less. And your ability to deal with your losses is also limited. You remain a victim of your losses. Once you smile to death, it is as if you are making a new connection, also with the people and things you lost. And from time to time, you manage to feel a very, very sweet feeling that you actually didn't lose anything. Even the money you lost, you didn't really lose it. It's just, a fluctuation, and it can come back to you. You didn't really lose it. It was just a change that you needed to go, but it wasn't a loss. It was an important change, like death. A change that helps you grow. A change that your personality, your soul needs in order to grow. So it's not something that you lose. It's something that you experience and is a part of your being. And you can get closer to this very, very bizarre state of mind that I'm offering you when you practice smiling to death. Because instead of seeing death as only as a kind of a place that we lose things to, or people to, or lose our lives, we can see death as a bigger picture, as a part of our existence, something that we need to connect to. And when we connect to, there's no loss here. Only changes, necessary changes that actually we chose.